Today's video is about an important aspect of collecting, storage. I've talked about my current game rooms and what systems are hooked up and ready to play, but what about my overflow? With well over 20 video game consoles, it became unwieldy to try to keep them all hooked up at once. Sorry guys. But as a collector, I don't want to offload any of my precious possessions. So as my collection grew, and as new consoles forced me to rotate out classic systems from my TV, I had to find a storage solution that satisfies a certain design philosophy. I wish to seek a balance between two ideals. I want my things to be kept safe and out of harm's way, but I also want them to be accessible. After all, what's the point of a game if it isn't playable?
After a lot of trial and error, I settled upon a system that I'm happy with and that I would like to share with you. Starting off with the Sterilite 15 quart hinged lid boxes. This is what I use to store the majority of my video game console systems. I've got them all labeled. If you look on the side, this one has a GameCube with a Game Boy player, and as you can see, everything fits nicely and neatly inside this box. Now, it's not an overly large box. It seems like it wouldn't hold much, but you would actually be surprised at how much this can hold.
In some instances, one box just won't hold everything. When that occurs, I just split it between two boxes. The first box holds the console, and the second box can hold all the wires, the hookups, the accessories, and everything else that I need.
If the console is put away, what do I do with the games? I could leave them out on my media racks, which would be fine, but generally to save space, I store those as well. Sometimes it works perfectly, everything fits in there really nicely. Other times it's not quite so perfect, but it still gets the job done.
Why is having uniform stackable storage so important? Well, because with the simple addition of some shelves, you've got a complete storage unit. Everything is nice and compact and in a small footprint, and I can have any of these systems hooked up to my television within 5 minutes.
Some of my game collections are much larger than one of those Sterilite totes. In that case, I just have to go for something larger. There's dozens of different kinds of boxes like this. This is a 32 quart. If we open it up, we'll see I've got all my NES games and a bunch of loose Jaguar CD, TurboGrafx 16 carts in there as well. These, as long as I buy these in pairs, these are still stackable, so it's still, I can put these across the top of my media tower over there. I do something similar with my Nintendo DS games. I've got all the boxes here, so I can store these out of the way, somewhere unobtrusive, but the cartridges themselves are able to fit in these Club Nintendo cases. So everything in this box only takes up this much room on my media shelf. But what if you have something that just won't fit in one of these Sterilite boxes, no matter how hard you try? Well, I've got a solution for that as well. This is a 17-liter box from Really Useful Box Company. I love these boxes and I love this company. I actually use their other size boxes for lots of my other storage, including these are my Game Boy cartridges, double stacked, all in one brick. Now this is perfect for some of the larger consoles, including the modern ones. It fits straight down in there. These are generally great boxes for whatever you're collecting.
Of course, these boxes are stackable, and they fit perfectly on the same rack with the other boxes.
Speaking of fitting perfectly, I almost forgot to mention one of my favorites. Same Sterilite tote that we saw before. 2 3-liter Really Useful boxes fits down inside of it. And inside of each of these are game instruction manuals. This is all Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64 with a couple spares on the side. I think those are Game Gear. And this one is all NES and Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color instruction manuals. Well, anyway, I think that's all I have to share this time. I appreciate you watching my video. I hope I've given you some ideas, or at least inspired you to think of your collecting and storage in a new way. If you have anything to share, please comment or post the follow-up video. I'd appreciate it very much. Have a nice day.